welcome back to Man Cave Garage Workshop. In this video, we'll take a look at a build to replace this store-bought fireplace. I wanted to do something different than the one I built in the living room, which goes from floor to ceiling and has a bench. Plans for that one is available in the links. Alright, so as you can see here, I've got a number of different options that I was weighing. So we'll start here. So first I had to lay out the room, right? So I had the wall that I want to put it on, and I've got the closet here on the left side, and on the right side I've got the entrance into the rooms. This is actually a short wall where the door is right here. So the door, this cabinet area is kind of narrow, less than a foot, and so I thought about putting that behind the door with some narrow shelves, and in the center of the room would be the fireplace, and up here you can see this is actually a coffered ceiling in the room. So I wanted to make sure that I was centered on that coffered ceiling, and also ensuring that, I cleared that doorway and that light switch. So I decided that this cabinet really took away from the fireplace, so we decided not to go with that. So coming over here, we thought, well, what about a bench? Do we want a bench in the fireplace? And I really didn't like the look of that, so I said, nah, we're not going to do that. Then I came over here and said, all right, what would it look like without a bench? And this was still really kind of not floating my boat. So starting to hone in on what I want the look to be. And so one of the things I thought about was, what about a stone or tile surround for the fireplace? And my wife really didn't like that idea, so we scratched that. So then I came over here and said, all right, well, now I'm starting to get more of what I want. I wanted something bold. So this kind of started to take some shape. And then finally, I landed on the final design, which, as you can see, it's got a kind of a riser here where it lifts everything up the ground, so it's not exactly a bench. It also has a lot of structure and features to it, so added some pop outs and made it a little more like a Majestic fireplace. And so that's what we see here, and that is the design that I landed on. Here's what $600 worth of wood looks like. I'm going to be starting a project here today, and hopefully we can get it done over the Thanksgiving long weekend. Alright, so I didn't want to bore you with watching me cut all different types of wood to create the frames and all the 2x4s and all that. So what I am going to start with is cutting the front boards for the mantle. So as you can see, these are being cut at a 45-degree angle. You can see the short ends. I've already cut those on the miter saw. That's pretty straightforward. Here on the table saw, I'm cutting the longer ends, and what I'm going to do here is, you can see I'm constantly adjusting that fence. So once I finally get the fence honed in, so it's getting the perfect edge on that 1x6, I'll run all the boards through that again to make sure I've got them all the exact same size. Here we're just doing the same thing with the tops and bottoms of the mantles. These are 1x12 boards. Alright, so one of the problems I encountered when building this fireplace is I didn't have a great way to cut the cross cuts at a 45-degree angle for the 1x12 pieces. My miter saw is just a little bit too short to do the full 11.25-inch cut all the way through, and I wanted a clean cut. The table saw, not a great way to do it without some kind of sled, so here I decided to build a sled. As you can see, I've got a couple of 3/4-inch pieces that act as the guides on the table saw top. So first thing I did is I attached the back end of it, because that really doesn't matter if it's perfectly square. On the front end, I attached one side with a screw, cut the bottom almost all the way through, use a couple of squares to make sure that back is fully square. Once I did that, I attached the back on more securely, run it all the way through. Now I've got a couple of blocks that I'm using as a safety block for the rear side of the fence, so I'll screw that on here, attach that in, and that'll protect my hands as that saw will come all the way through to make a full cut. Now I'm going to cut it through at a 45-degree angle. This will make it have a small piece in the middle that will come out. As you can see here, so you got a little bit of a gap in the sled itself, which is not a big deal. One of the nice things about this is now you can see you've got that spot where you can see exactly where that saw is going to come through. So it's nice to be able to line that up perfectly. Unfortunately, I did all this work for just a few cuts, but I'll tell you, it was worth it. I also didn't want to really mar up my nice monster sled that I built here. This sled I built a while ago, and I love it. It's a heavy sled, but it's great, especially when you're doing these multiple cuts at the same spot, so you want to make sure they're all the same size. Works out really well, and I really like having this sled. I do have another video that shows me building the sled, so please check that out. Now for the hardest part, laying out all the boards, putting all the glue on, getting it all together. Wasn't really the simplest piece of the project. So a lot of people will do this with painter's tape to line all the boards up perfectly and then kind of glue it up and then just fold it together. I didn't do that here for, I didn't have painter's tape and I didn't feel like going out and getting it. I also had some of the boards were slightly warped, which made it a little more difficult. And I didn't really think the painter's tape was going to work. So this is how I did it. Lots of clamps. Okay, so it was time to actually start doing the frame. I built this in two sections. I built the bottom fireplace and the top hutch separately from each other. This made it really easy to build it all in the garage and not build it in the house and having to go make cuts and go back inside and back and forth. Especially here when I'm doing the shiplap, really easy to kind of just trace it out, make those cuts. You can see I've used 1/2 inch MDF on the sides. This is nice for painting because it's really smooth. Give it a little bit of sanding and you get a really nice smooth paint. Here I put in a frame around the TV opening for the mount. That's because I want it to look nice. Not necessary because it is behind the TV. And then here I use various sizes of 3/4 inch plywood boards. This was great for really just kind of making it a nice face. The plywood is a little bit soft, but I've used it for other furniture and really not had any problems. One of the things too you'll see here is I do a lot of the attachments using wood glue. I really didn't want to have brad nails for the in the face because then you got to fill them and sand them, and sometimes it still doesn't come out great. And so you can see that 2x2 bracket that's in the TV opening. That's actually going to be used to mount it to the wall. So this will be the only spot that actually gets mounted into the wall, just so it doesn't fall over. The hutch will also get attached to the fireplace with some wood screws through the back of the hutch, so those won't be seen. And then here I'm just finishing up, putting all the face on, including the caps on the top and the bottom. This really makes it look nice and stand out. So here finally I've got the fireplace painted and in place. You can see on the top of the fireplace I've got a grommet. That's going to get removed when we put the hutch on. But that is a hole in the top of the fireplace that if you're just building a fireplace, you could still put that there to run electric. Like you want to put something in there that lights up. I actually drilled through the hutch so that that hole goes all the way through. And this allows me to run all the TV wires and the electric without actually having to put a outlet up by the TV. So overall, I feel like this came out really nice. I like that the TV sits there and you can't see behind it from the side. That's really important because this you can see that side as you walk in to the office there through that door. If you like how this came out, please subscribe. These plans are available, and check us out at mancavegarageworkshop.com.